name is Liz Hosken. I work with the Gaia Foundation, and the Gaia Foundation works with partners and associates in different parts of the world, basically working on programs that are seeking a different development path for people that are based on acknowledging and understanding the importance of cultural biodiversity and the importance of ecological diversity. And it began in the early 80s, and it began at a moment when there was a lot of criticism of the way development was being imposed in southern countries based on a Western perspective, materialistic perspective, lack of recognition of different cultures, different ways of seeing, and certainly not acknowledging any importance at all for the environment. And so we began working with people who were pioneering a different development path, which was based on respecting the planet, the ecosystem, and also respecting the diversity of cultures. And it is very much about understanding human beings as not being simply interested in material things, but actually a human development path requiring a much more holistic approach, human needs being much more whole than simply material well-being. So it was really pioneering a different development path based on respect for the planet and respect for different ways of seeing the world. And the idea is really to provide an experience around the planet in different contexts, different ecosystems, an experience of how people can live in a different way for Westerners, but also for people from developing countries, where those who we're working with in the network are very consciously choosing a different path. And so the idea is that people will have an experience of learning and living with local communities. It's not a theoretical thing, it's an actual living experience. And also to draw together the different ways of seeing, and also the new developments in Western thinking and in Western science that show that the planet is indeed a living whole, which is what the Gaia hypothesis and the Gaia Foundation means. And so it's really to provide people with a full experience of a different way, so that because people are bombarded with this industrial way of thinking, with the industrial values, and so it's to provide people with different experiences around the world that are self-reinforcing, that really do show that another way is possible. I think the thing that's very particular about this network is that it's a network of people who are actually pretty well known in the international circuit. They're people who've been pioneering a different way, but have also been really thinking differently and articulating, criticizing the Western development path, but showing by example a different way, and engaging with local communities in pioneering a different path. So it provides people with not only an experience, but also with kind of intellectual understanding of why we need to search for a different way, and that it is possible and viable. And I think what the learning centres are also based on learning how traditional cultures see learning, see teaching, that isn't simply an intellectual, conceptual thing, but it is actually in practice. So people will be encouraged to go and engage and learn from the different places around the planet, but then to come back to their own lives and implement what they've learned. The idea is that just as we know that the planet is a living whole, that if we push the planet too far, if we destroy for example, the rainforests, after a critical point the rainforests will not be able to play their function in maintaining the climatic balance of the planet as a whole. So what we understand is if we, like a body, if we push the system too far, it'll collapse. But in the same way, if enough of us start to reverse that trend, and if enough of us start to make choices that are actually about taking care of the planet and understanding that we're part of a living whole, and we're informed by that view of the world, then perhaps we can stem the tide.